Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam and we're doing something fun. This is going to be a fun reading vlog. Shorter, but fun nonetheless. This is kind of my phantom romance readathon reading vlog. It's not as extensive. I've read so many things this month, but for this vlog specifically, I wanted to keep it focused around the Phantom of the Opera. So of course I will be reading the official book. Oh my god. I'm so excited. So I will actually be reading The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. I hope I'm saying that right. I know he's French. I should really know more about this author than I do. But Phantom of the Opera, if you're new to my channel, haven't seen the announcement, whatever, is one of my favorite musicals. I love musicals and theater. It's so good. But I've never read the book. And I've always wanted to. Every year I say I will, and then I just don't. So this year, finally, Maggie has given me the proper excuse, the reason to do it, and I'm very excited. So I will be reading this in this video, and I'm very, 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 very excited, seeing as this entire readathon is based around Phantom of the Opera. I'm actually doing this reading vlog within the last week and a half, so things are happening, things are intense. We are in the finals, we're doing the trial, we are trying to escape the layer. It's so fun. Maggie has done such an incredible job with this readathon, and I'm so thankful to be asked to be a host. I've done some reading sprints for it. I've been reading so many things for it. The Discord has been a lot of fun. I love my team. They've been incredible. We're the Morally Gray Babes, and it's been a blast. So I'm excited to have been participating all month and taking on a host role for a readathon, as well as getting an opportunity to read this beast. But we're not starting with this one, nor are we starting with my other pick, which will be The Forgotten Phantom. Now, I'm gonna have to do my own research and get back to you when I remember more about this, but I remember before the announcements were coming out, before anyone knew this was happening in the theme, we had a little Instagram group of all the hosts and Maggie talking, and we were recommending some books, and The Forgotten Phantom was one that was recommended and mentioned. And so I decided that's the one retelling that I definitely want to pick up. I think it's on Kindle Unlimited. I might pick up the audio if I need it, but I might just leave it as a Kindle read. I don't remember if this is a sequel to the actual canon Phantom of the Opera, but the sequel's not technically canon, or if this is just the monster romance set in classical retellings. I think it's the latter, but we won't know until we pick it up. But at this current moment in time, we will be starting my chunkiest and largest book on my TBR, which is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. Is this actually Phantom of the Opera? I don't know. We're gonna find out together though. It's really giving the gothic romance vibes though. This has been pitched to be similar to Caraval, which is one of my favorite young adult series. I love a trial in books. This is said to have the 9 hells, sister relationships, and Phantasma only has 2 rules: stay alive and don't fall in love. We've got Ophelia, who finds her mother murdered and is quickly inheriting magic and debt, but then Ophelia's sister decides to enter Phantasma, which is a competition where contestants rarely escape alive, and the victor is granted a single wish, and she's trying to take care of the debt instead. But Ophelia has to go and save her sister in Phantasma. And it's a cursed manor full of twisting corridors and lavish ballrooms, staffed by enticing demons and fatal temptations. And Ophelia must conquer all 9 floors to succeed, if her fears don't overtake her first. So I'm really excited. I know this is morally gray. There's dark romance lead love interest that she's not maybe supposed to be with. I don't really know a whole lot. I am buddy reading this with my friends Eliza and Daphne, which is really fun. And I think Daphne will also be doing a vlog. She's so far the furthest. She's 5 chapters in. I think Eliza said she got 20 chapters in. I'm probably gonna attempt to knock this whole book out just today. I'm gonna be planted on this couch all day. So if the backdrop gets annoying, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna just power through. I have the audiobook through Audible. I bought it. So I'm gonna tandem read the heck out of this, and I'll update you when I have more thoughts, things to say. You know the drill of a reading vlog. But my first book, I'm really excited. I have really high hopes. The Discord did a buddy read for this readathon. There's a buddy read channel for Phantasma. Oh, most importantly, okay, so what I was saying is that everybody seems to be enjoying this. I've seen mostly very strong reviews for this. This is kind of one of those books that got really hyped and blown up really fast. And it'll probably die down fast if we're being super honest, but I've heard pretty like good reviews. But with that said, I've also seen and heard that this is potentially a Danny Phantom inspired. And I'm just intrigued to see what that means, if it's true. Like how do you do that? Like, how do you make it Danny Phantom but gothic? God, I love Danny Phantom so much. What an awakening that show really was. Anyway, let's read. Okay, 100 pages in. Strong 5-star prediction. I'm so excited about this. I have such high hopes. It's truly giving Caraval meets Princess and the Frog with like the New Orleans vibes, with the two like businessmen trying to get the property, and then also like the Danny Phantom vibes. I get it. No, I'm having so much fun. Ophelia's kind of just gotten into this mess because she's looking for her sister, very similar to the Caraval setup of like having a troubled sister. I love Genevieve though. She's the best character so far, but very much like she's caused trouble and now Ophelia has to go save her through these games that are super deadly, but only one person can win. I'm already having a great time though. I love seeing our love interest, we're calling him Blackwell right now, I love seeing him and Ophelia interact. It's so fun. And I love this manor. Oh my god, the spooky ghouls and the way that like doors open to secret passageways but also open into the whispering gates and like fun things like that. It's just like, I love it. I love the magic. So I'm really having a great time. I've got like 400 pages to go. This book is beastie, but I'm having a really good time. Oh, we are making progress. I'm halfway, finally. It's certainly one of the books that like I'm enjoying and I have no major issues with, but as much as I'm absolutely loving it, it's not like making me want to pick it up immediately when I set it down, but I think about it a lot. So it's like, you know, it's giving all the signs that like it could still be 5 stars. I love this world. I love the trials. I love the fact that it's like demons and ghosts and ghouls that are doing these haunts in this like manor that has like magical haunting properties, that the rooms like shift and move and you can summon different things, and it's just I love it so much. It's so cool. The trials are really interesting and I'm enjoying them. They're nothing like above and beyond, never seen before kind of things, but I feel like it's taking a lot of challenge ideas from other media. Reality TV shows a great example of like a good way to find ideas for trials, and it's giving that, and I'm enjoying it. One of my favorite dungeon masters or game masters does that. She loves reality TV shows, so she often will take inspiration from it when creating her worlds, and I just absolutely love and adore it. It's so good. It's so good. I love the trials. It's one of my favorite things in a book. I'm really enjoying the characters. Ophelia is a little bit annoying at times, but at the same time, like I don't hate her. She's annoying, but I can understand like her mindset and motivations. She's a little bit wishy-washy about things, and I wish that we could see a little bit more strength and agency from herself rather than getting assistance from outside help. But besides that, I do still enjoy seeing her like in these situations. She has OCD, and it's interesting like seeing her work through that and like succeeding on these challenges while still having like this, what she calls her inner demons, this voice, the shadow voice in her head. It's fascinating. Blackwell. Oh, Blackwell. He's fun. He's so sarcastic. He's so witty. He is just such a flirt. I can't not think Danny Phantom grown up at this point. Like the brain rot is real. Like it's just like, yes, This is the adult version of Caraval, and there's a little bit of like a Danny Phantom character, and I'm having a great time. I genuinely think that, like, this could be 5 stars. I'm gonna genuinely just keep reading. I don't think I'm gonna stop today. I'm currently chapter 27. I think I'm gonna just try and pound this out today. Off topic, I have to read this bad boy today too, which is also so chunky. So it's just like the day of chunky reading, but that's my plan. That's what I'm doing. I'm having a good time. I finished. Wow. Eliza and I have been hypothesizing and thinking and screaming into the void together about this. I really love this. I loved the ending. There was a point, like almost to the end, where I was just like, okay, this is feeling a little long, and then instantly like things started happening again. I was getting really excited and just full-heartedly fell right back in love. I love them together. I was surprised. I had a theory, but it wasn't the theory that this, like, I didn't connect the full dots. So I was shocked by the twist in a pleasantly good way. I thought that the ending was good and strong. I really liked it. I really liked them. This is the adult romantasy. Caraval meets Danny Phantom meets New Orleans Princess and the Frog meets potentially Throne of the Fallen. That's like the other tagline, but I haven't read that yet. So potentially that too. It's giving me all the things, and I really liked it. Apparently the second book will be following the sister Genevieve, which I am excited about. I think I have an idea who the love interest could possibly be as well. I'm very intrigued. I really love this. I loved Phantasma. I loved this gothic trial-based competition to get like a wish granted, but it's deadly and gothic. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, yeah, no, this is, I think, 5 stars. It's not perfect, and I can see like it's cringy. It's got very sarcastic and kind of in your face dialogue, but I think the OCD rep is good. The author themselves also has OCD, so I know that like this is realistic to what it can be like. But yeah, I think the rep was good. I do understand that like it's cringy, it's a little bit in your face, it's not super like nuanced, like everything is pretty like laid out for you, but I was fine with that. I just was in it. It's a good ride. It's atmospheric. It just did all the things that I really am happy that it did. I'm so excited for the sequel next year. What a good time. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. This is a win. No matter what else happens in this video, this is a win. Operation make this background look cuter in the future, because this is a nice angle and the lighting looks good over here, and I need to film here more often. Also, since we last spoke, your girl's got a professional microphone now, so her video sound quality can actually get good. Thank the heavens at this point. But most importantly, we have a lot of reading to do today. I am your lovely procrastinator. It's endearing, it's sweet, it's cute, it's the determination for me. So I need to read the entirety of The Phantom of the Opera, which I think is what I'm going to first start with, so that I can follow it up with The Forgotten Phantom, which is a classic retelling but smutty type of book. This, in total, I think will take me about 6-ish hours. I will be sprinting tonight. But I do fear that even though I'm sprinting this evening, we're going to talk too much, and I'm going to have to be the responsible and be like, hey, I would love to hang out during these sprints, but like, your girl's got to read. At this current time, it is almost 4:30. So, the sprints start at 5, and pretending we don't talk a whole lot, which I know won't that's just not going to be factually true. We will talk a lot. I'll probably finish reading both of these around 11 p.m. And then I have to edit 2 videos. Okay, note to anybody, if you ever want to do Vlogmas or Booktober or whatever else where you upload every day, I do recommend trying to pre-film and be more organized. I thought I was organized and I procrastinated. And I didn't do any of the things that I was supposed to do. And so this first week is kicking my ass. But it's fun, and I'm having a blast. But I do need to desperately read, so this will be my entire evening. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. I won't be moving from this chair basically until like probably 1 a.m. But I'm really excited. I have not read Phantom of the Opera. I know. I love the musical. It is absolutely one of my favorites in the entire world. It's just gorgeous. I love their voices, and beautiful. Specifically the Gerard Butler film is what I'm referring to. I would love to see this live. It's never come to Eugene. Jumping into this, I know the story based off the musical, and so I'm curious to see like how much more detail we end up getting, what might be different or changed potentially. I know that this is mostly going to talk, I don't know if mostly is the correct word, but I know that's going to touch a little bit more in depth on being disabled or like having a physical impairment that society deems like monstrous. So I'm excited for those conversations. It's going to be probably more serious. It's also a classic. Hopefully the English is nice to me. I have the audiobook, so that will help. Let's just jump in. Let's just start. Let's just do it. Would y'all be upset if I DNF this? It's not a never. It's just not a right now. I can see inspiration for the readathon, which I think is really cool. I can see a lot of the tie-ins, which again is so cool. But I'm honestly not hooked or interested. It's not written in the way I thought it would be. I was expecting it to be like in the moment, maybe with a character or two, but it's told in the third person, which I should have expected. But it's written as if it's like documenting what the events, and so we are like getting the letters and stuff that were happening, but it will just like name drop a lot of things. Like it's listing stuff, and I just like, I don't have context. There's so many fucking names. What is it with classics and thinking that every single character has to be in every scene? It's driving me kind of insane because it's French and translated. The what is it, suffix or whatever, like Mr. and Mrs. look different than what they are now, and it's just like small little things that I'm like, I don't know if this is the right time, which is a bummer, and I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna just focus on listening to the audiobook maybe tomorrow at work and give that a shot and not try to read along and slow it down and just like enjoy my time with it, hopefully, rather than trying to cram it into a video. I feel like this is something that like I just need to, not tonight, you know? So with that said, we're just gonna focus on The Forgotten Phantom. It is 7:30 and I need to finish this thing, and it'll take me about 3 hours. So this is kind of my plan and agenda. I don't know what this is about, except for the fact that it's Phantom of the Opera. Romance, a little probably smutty. I do think that it's gonna actually be between her and the Phantom rather than Raoul, which is cool. This is by Catherine Ann Kingsley. So 308 pages. That shouldn't take too terribly long. I think I can handle it. So, alright, I'm off to read this. Yes. Okay, hi. I just got out of the shower. I don't look great. I'm super tired. My body hurts and I need food desperately bad, so I will probably be ordering takeout because I have a lot to do. In terms of the Phantom of the Opera, when I last chatted with y'all, I said I'm DNFing this, and guess what? She finished it today at work. If you like the musical, stick with the musical. I don't know if this is necessarily like worth the read if you don't like classics. It's written in a different style than I thought it was going to be. It's very like, let me tell you the story of this like documentary style thing that happened, which I would rather have just like been with Christine in the events of things happening rather than her relaying. It's a lot of telling and not showing, and we haven't been spending the time with the characters I want to see the most. I didn't realize that Raoul was such a main character, which, you know, was annoying. I was hoping when I read this I would learn more about the Phantom himself rather than 2 chapters on like how he got paid. It just yeah, it was boring, it was long, it was super wordy for no good reason. Like, it didn't need to go on so many tangents. Like, the end action was good and I was excited about that, but at that point, like, I was already kind of checked out because I was just like, so much of this doesn't matter, and there's so many characters. I wish that the translation just said like Mr. and Mrs. rather than like M or MME for Madam, and it's like, my brain doesn't process that when I see it. It's not natural in my modern English language. So that also just, like, small little things would, like, irk me about the translation. So yeah, 2.5 stars. It's just, like, it's not a bad story, and it's created such incredible media, and I'm glad of its existence, but, like, as a classic itself, I'm honestly really sad and disappointed. So, but hey, I finished it. I can say that I have read the book. With that said, The Forgotten Phantom, I need to finish this today, so that I can edit the video, but okay. Okay, so I've read 45%. I'm on page 141. And the first 100 pages were fantastic, impeccable. I was kicking my feet. I was giddy. I was loving it. This is modern Phantom of the Opera sequel, part 2, where we have a young Christine Grey who is, trauma happened. She was an orphan. She was brought up in this thing called the Institute that, like, fights monsters and hunts monsters, but has never felt like she's belonged and has always wanted to prove herself. So she's been sent on a task to work the case of the Phantom of the Opera 140 or so years later. And she gets there, she like cleans the laundry, but she also plays violin, and that catches his attention, and of course her name is Christine, and history seems to be repeating itself a little bit. And at first I was like, oh my god, this is the Phantom's redemption. This is, like, his time to learn from his past mistakes of the original story of Phantom of the Opera. And so, like, he can only improve now and get better. And then 100 pages in, he started not getting better. And I was like, oh, you're doing really creepy, possessive, controlling things that I don't like, and I don't want that. I think that they're very cute. Once Raoul got introduced to the book, I genuinely, like, groaned. I was like, no, don't ruin what they have going. But of course he needed conflict. And yeah, I think, like, if he just wasn't so creepy at times, like, inappropriately touching her in her sleep type of creepy, just, like, just doesn't need to exist. The weird possessiveness of him, like, acknowledging that his past behaviors weren't great and that he could, like, this could be his redemption. He could be better. He could learn from his past mistakes. And then he's just repeating history, and I'm just like, bruh, how could you be so self-aware and so smart? He's, like, considered a genius, and that's the same as the original. The Phantom is a genius. He's so smart. So he has all these, like, clockwork things. So she introduces him to technology, and he starts reading the smut on her phone, and I loved it. It's so funny when he talks about the smut that she reads. One of my favorite scenes. I was cackling. Every time it's brought up, I cackle. He's like, oh, this is literature now? Like, romance is a genre now? Okay. And then he, like, one night when she's sleeping, just, like, reads a bunch on her phone, and it's so funny. But I love the ghosty abilities and powers that he has. I like them together. Their chemistry is good. I'm rooting for them, but, like, there's just, like, a lot of moments where I'm just like, this doesn't feel necessary. This didn't need to happen like this. And that bums me out a little bit. But with that said, I'm going to finish it. I'm enjoying it. It's a very easy read. It's so fast-paced. It's incredible. I'm having fun. I'm liking it. Some of the things that he does just irks me a little bit, where it's like, okay, it can't be a super great book because I'm annoyed with this bad man. And Raoul is nice so far. And so I'm like, okay, should I be rooting for him now? Yes. So that's where I'm at. I have read a good amount. I will finish the last half of this, eat some dinner, edit this video. The whole shebang, which is exciting for me. But yeah, I'm having fun. I'm kicking my feet. I'm I'm giggling and I'm giddy about the romance, okay? This is just the soft fluff that I needed in my life right now. So, I'm gonna get to reading. I'll check in with you later. So, I've been skimming the sex scene. Sorry. It's not, like, my favorite writing, and also, it's just, I'm losing enjoyment between the two of them. It's getting to, like, a weird place where, like, I don't know, like, it's so, like, what about if history was repeating itself, which is, like, a common phrase, but it's also playing into, like, some people can't change, like, it's impossible to change, and it's like, okay, but the Phantom could change, but they're like, she's always joking, she's like, hee, don't kill anyone, please don't kill anyone for me, and he's like, I am what I am, sorry, babes, and it's like, What? And also, he's so, like, I understand that this is a smut book and so on and so forth, but there was this conversation that I read today that I guess an author said on a podcast. I'm getting a paraphrased version of what happened, but this author was talking about how it's really hard to write fiction because it needs to still be believable, and like there still has to be, it can't just like be fully made up. Like things still have to make sense, and it's almost more scrutinized to that degree because it's weird when things don't make sense. And I'm kind of having that feeling with this book where the Phantom is so cool about modern technology, and like it's confusing because like he's talked about how like he's run gas pipes down to the cavern and is like excited to do like wiring, and has been like stealing food from grocery stores and whatnot, but also like he can't leave the boundaries of the opera house, and like is so fascinated with phones and is like really into technology, and that's cool. And the way that he gets down and dirty is very like modern. He's not like some modest 1800s ghost, but at the same time he hasn't been awake for 140 years. Like he was a ghost, he died, and then he's like been asleep, and he woke up when Christine came to the opera house recently. And so like he wasn't watching other people develop with the times in the opera house, and he has like very few memories. Like he knows the backstory of Phantom of the Opera, but like also is like unsure about things and has like memory issues because he's a ghost. And there's just like a lot of inconsistencies, and I understand that this is not meant to be taken that serious and literal, but that is something like when I'm reading a book, like I do want those things to make sense. I want the characters' motives to make sense. I want to see like a proper character arc and all these things, and there's just like little things that are just like bugging me. That's like not ruining it completely, but like not making it super fun either. But alas, I'm going to finish. I'm 70% in, so I've got like 40, no, that's not how math works. I have like 85-ish pages left, so I'm gonna knock this out. My food is on the way. I ordered Doko. I don't know if Doko, I don't think it's like everyone has this everywhere. I think it's like a Eugene thing, but it's like, they're nice because they're open till 2 in the morning. And so that was like we're partying on campus and getting drunk, let's get Doko. And now it's just like, I love Doko so much. They're like calzones. I'll show it when it gets here, but like, it has my heart. And they're not expensive, and they got cookies. Doko, if you're ever in Eugene, it's on campus. It's a great time. But that will be here soon, and I'm very excited. I'm so hungry. So yeah, hopefully I'll finish this book here soon. But yeah, I'm skipping the smut, which I feel bad about. I don't normally do that in books. And I don't know if I would love this book so much if it wasn't Phantom of the Opera. Like, I think the like sequel, like the next book in this series, Creature Feature, I think it's gonna be Dracula coded, which is fun and fine. But I don't know if I would like this so much if it wasn't Phantom of the Opera. Like, if I didn't know these characters and didn't already have, like, a connection to the musical and so on and so forth. So it's just, like, it's just one of those things, you know? I'm gonna go read now. I was talking about the smut, and I don't need to keep talking about the smut, so I'm gonna go read. And she's finished. I don't want to bash on this book too harshly, too much. I don't think it's, like, a bad book. But I understand, like, it's the villain's love story. It's all for the villain, and we love the villain, and I agree. Love a villain. You can be a villain and be in a healthy relationship and have growth and still have good qualities and traits to you. Like, yeah, you're a villain, and you have to do what you gotta do sometimes. And, like, I can also make excuses, especially, like, for fiction, obviously. I can make excuses for, like, why things happen. But when, like, you're just being weirdly toxic and abusive, and Christine wasn't any better. She was equally toxic. Raoul sucked. Like, all of these characters were just unlikable. And not in, like, a fun way. Like, not a fun, I'm rooting for them way. Just, like, you're not learning. You're lacking self-awareness. Like, you're mentioning things, but you're not really thinking about it and analyzing it. Like, the author brings stuff up, like she's trying to negate the weird things that like people would feel, but it just didn't feel successful in that. I think in the end I'll be giving this 3 stars. I don't think it's like horrible, but it definitely like lacked a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of growth, and like reasons for them to actually like and love each other. It felt very like destiny, history's repeating itself, so like they have to be in love. Like there's no other option. They just have to do it. And it feels like it takes away agency as to like why these characters like each other, because I don't think they know anything about each other. Like genuinely, I don't think they've had those conversations to be like, when's your birthday? Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I don't know. I think I just wanted more between them, more justification as to like why they should be together and what they like about each other and why, rather than just like, well, you look like this girl that I once loved, but you're different than her, therefore I like you, so I'm gonna keep you forever. And it's like, I feel like that's a bit of a stretch, but okay. I digress. So yes, those were them. Those were the books I read. I really had higher expectations for all of these books. I really thought that this was going to be like the best video, and we started out on such a bang with the oh my goodness, I'm having so many strokes tonight. The first book, Phantasma, just absolutely nailed it with the gothic atmosphere, and I loved it, and it was such a good experience. And Daphne and Eliza read it with me, and Eliza loves it. And Daphne, every critique she brings up, I'm like, yes, I do completely agree. I just also am blind, and I find joy in the things that, like, I don't know, something about, like, me being my romanticier. It's like, yeah, I'm critical of these books that I'm loving. I'm fully aware of, like, their issues, but I can turn a blind eye and like forget those bad things. And then there's books like The Forgotten Phantom where like, I'm sorry, I can't ignore the things that are bothering me. It's just, reading is weird. Reading is so weird. It's so subjective. So alas, that's the end of this vlog. We have made it. I've read my phantom gothic things a little late, but it's fine. Shout out again to Maggie for creating the romance readathon and making it Phantom of the Opera themed. I'm so thankful to have been a part of this, and I'm so thankful that this was the theme because it was so much fun. Kudos to everybody who participated because it was a blast. I had so much fun. I can't wait to see what the theme is for next year. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. So with that said, I'm gonna go so that I can edit and sleep, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another reading vlog if I finish that other book. Procrastinating is really cool, and I highly recommend it. Okay, good night.